Hello everyone, welcome to our web development class. I'm very happy to see you all over here. Alright, so let me start by sharing my screen, guys. Alright, now, sorry. Today we are going to start, today I'm going to show you the demo of what we are planning in our web development class. Okay, let's start by seeing the projects that we will be doing. This course is basically divided into 4 different projects. All right, we start with very easy concepts and move on to slightly more advanced topics in every project. All right, so let's first see what we are going to be creating, and then we'll discuss how we are going to create all of that. Okay, the first project will be this. This will be the My Marvel Superhero project. Okay, in this we have this. This is my first page on my index page. Okay, and when I take my cursor over any of the superheroes, you will see that the background color of the header is changing. Okay, we learn how to do that. Basically, guys, we will be learning 3 technologies: CSS, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right. Now, when I click on Spider-Man image, it will open the Spider-Man page for me. And you will see that the images are changing automatically. This is happening using JavaScript. We will, of course, discuss in some time what we mean by HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay. The back button takes us back to the home page, the first page. Now when I click on Iron Man, so this you will see is a different layout. So we learn how to write, how to create different layouts and different concepts. Here we will, can you see the animated bullets over here, the animated stars? Okay, so basically we learn how to create how to add animated bullets to our HTML list. Okay, we go back, we come to the Captain Marvel, and here we have created a table. Now, my favorite part of the project is this. When I take my cursor over the image, can you see the image becomes black and white, right? And when I move my cursor out, it becomes colored again. Okay, so we again create this effect using JavaScript in this file. All right, so this is our first project. Now, how all our projects will work, guys, is this. What I'm going text and all the images required for the project. Okay, then during class, guys, can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can hear you fine.
Yes. All right, perfect. Okay, so during class, what we are going to do is we are going to learn all the topics that we require for that particular project, right? So basically, we learn half of HTML, CSS, and a little bit of JavaScript for the first project. Okay, and in the course of our class, which will be around 20 hours, all right, we'll first learn the topics, and then we will create this website together in class. So by the end of the course, all of us will have a website that looks exactly like this. But besides that, I also want you all to create one more website, which will be of your own topic with your own images. Okay, and with your own text, everything. During class, we discuss how you will start your own project, and we will also, every 2 or 3 classes, we will take some time to discuss your projects, what difficulties you're having in your personal project. So when you create
We can't hear you. Does anybody else having that problem?
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Hey, Preeti, you there? Hey, everyone. It looks like she lost the audio. Just give me a minute. Hey, Preeti, you still there? Hey everyone, I think Preeti had some internet issue. I think she'll join back in a couple of minutes, guys. Sorry. Okay.
Hey guys, sorry, I'm back. I think I had some internet issues. I just switched my network.
Okay, great. Yeah. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to share my screen again. And I would like to know what is the last thing you all heard me say. Did we complete this? Did I show you everything about this? Satish, were you all able to hear me till I finish this project?
Yeah, I think I'm on other call. I think Divya can update. I think you were.
We heard you. We heard what you said.
I'm really sorry about the network issues, guys.
No worries. It's
I
okay.
just switched my network.
It's
All
okay.
right. All right. So let's see the next project. This is the Dinosaur World project. Okay. Now, whatever topics or whatever commands of HTML and CSS that we have not done in the first project will be completed in this project. Okay. So by the end of this project, you would know almost everything about HTML and CSS. Of course, please understand that they are very, very vast topics. So when I say almost everything, I mean almost everything that you need to know as a beginner. But when you're working professionally, obviously there are a lot more things to it, right? Okay, so first let's see the project. Now over here, you will see the entire look is different. We have a background color. We have some kind of a transparency over here. Okay, the new things that the new topics that we have in this project is this. Here you'll see that this is, when I take my cursor over here, you'll see the background color changes, but this still says click here to see dinosaur facts. When I click on this, it opens this. Can you see this panel for me, right? And the image also changes. This says click here to close dinosaur facts. So basically, we have this image which has the brown background. Then when I take my cursor over, the image which has a cream background and the text of the image is changing. So here we are going to learn how to manipulate 3 images. Okay. Plus we will also learn how to open and close a panel. This is done using JavaScript. Okay. Then we will do audio and video in this file. All right. So if I take my cursor over the dinosaur image, and guys, this can become a little loud. Okay. So this is again a combination of HTML and JavaScript, wherein we will learn how to add audio to our website. We will also learn how to add videos to our website. Here we are from the family of, sorry, let me just pause that. Here we are actually including a YouTube video. Okay. We do the same thing for the second dinosaur, right? And we include this video over here also. Of course, the best part is page 2. This is the dinosaur quiz. When I click, my favorite part of this website, when I click over here, it opens a new page for me. So let me just write Shreyan over here because I would not know whose name to write, frankly. All right. And we have a quiz. So we will actually learn how to work with forms, how to take the data from the forms and how to check whether my answers are right or wrong. All right. So let me write a few right answers over here and then a few wrong answers so that we can see the difference between right and, the correct answer and the wrong answer. That's it. Let me just click on submit over here. When I click on submit, you will see that every answer that is right has the green color background. Every answer that is wrong has the red background with the right answer. You know what irritates me actually is when you do a quiz and you don't know what the right answer is at the end of it. So I always like to display the right answer whenever there is a quiz. All right. So this is your second project. So like I told you, we will learn forms, we will learn audio, video, we learn different CSS styles. In this form, we will be working on a lot of different CSS styles. As you can see, we have many images, we have placements. Can you see these are all evenly placed, right? So we will learn how to do all of that in this project. All right. So this is our second project. The third project, so by the time we come to the fourth project now, we would have almost done all of HTML CSS. So from here, we start concentrating on JavaScript, which has a little bit of programming in it. Okay, so while we are doing JavaScript, I will also start introducing you to programming concepts like variables and conditional statements, conditional loops. If it makes no sense to you right now, don't worry about it. When we start learning, we will understand what all of this means. All right. Now, so to start with our third project, okay, here what we are going to do is we are going to randomly generate a number between 1 and 100. We'll do that through our code. Okay. Hi Shreya, I hope you'll follow us from here. We are discussing projects that we are going to be doing in this course. This is project 3 right now. All right. Okay. So let me repeat. We randomly generate a number between 1 and 100. The user will get 5 tries to enter the correct number. Okay. And our program will tell us whether our number is more or less than the secret number. All right. And if the difference between our number and the secret number is 5 or less, we get an additional message, you are so close. All right. Plus we display all the numbers that we have entered at the bottom of the screen. Now, although it sounds impossible that from 1 to 100, we are supposed to guess a number, but believe me, if you follow this hint, always start at the midpoint of your range. If you follow this hint, 80% of the times you will be able to guess the number. All right. So let me refresh this page. Just for the coding purpose, we always should know what the secret number is, right? And when we make a friends plate, we just remove this command. Okay. So my secret number this time is 14. All right. So when I click on start, it starts the game for me. So if I say the hint is start from the midpoint, obviously midpoint of 1 and 100 is 50. So I start from 50, click on submit. Okay. And then it says the secret number is less than your number. Okay. So we click on try again. All right. Now, who would like to give me the next number? Come on.
25.
25, Shishir, very good. So let's give 25 because that is the next hint. Excellent. Now it again says secret number is less than your number, right? Now, Divya, would you like to give me the next number?
How about 20?
20, all right. And it still tells me this is your chance 3, secret number is, sorry, less than your number, right? Try again, Ishwani.
How about 15?
Perfect. I like that. This is chance 4. This says you were so close, secret number is less than your number. That means your secret number is 5 numbers or less. All right. And it has to be less. That means your numbers are between 10 and 15, correct?
14.
14, yes, because that is the correct answer. So I give 14 and I click on submit and you win. So this is your secret number. All right, if we very quickly run this game again, it's 64. This time I start with 50 as usual. Then Shreya, can you give me a number?
25.
25, but see dear, this says secret number is greater than your number.
75.
75, perfect. So we give 75 and it says now secret number is less than your number, right? So now who would like to give me the next number?
65.
65, very good. That's the perfect way to go. And you are so close, secret number is less than your number, right? So ideally, I would think it is between 60 and 65, correct? So what was the number I would give as a midpoint?
63.
63, perfect. And again, secret number is greater than your number. Now you know you have entered 65 and you have entered 63. So what will be your secret number?
64.
64, right? And you win the game. See, I told you, right? 80% of the times you will get the right answer. Not always, but 80% of the times. Do you like that, guys, the game? Yes, so we will learn how to create this game. Okay. Now, this will use certain JavaScript and programming topics, okay? And after that, the last project is this one, Beware of the Spider. We'll use arrays and everything in this. So this is a little bit of more advanced programming, all right? Now, the goal of this is that there are these 12 panels, okay? There is, behind one panel, there is a spider. And behind the rest of them, the 11 of them, there are butterflies. Okay, so our goal is to find 10 butterflies before we find the spider. All right. Now the position of the spider will change every time randomly. That is our game. If it's always in the same position, it's no sense making the game, right? So always the position of the spider will change, right? So now when I refresh this time my spider is on position 9. Again, this we know because we are doing the coding, right? If we make a friends play, we hide this part, correct? So 9 would be this. This is where my spider is, all right? So let me click somewhere and then find the spider. So see, this tells me, oh, you found the spider, and we lose the game. And of course, our program is covered with the web of the spider, right? Now when we refresh, this time here we have the spider on position 4. Let's not click there. Let's win the game and see. So I need to click on 10 butterflies and I win my game. And this tells me my spider was on position 4. Okay. So this game is actually very interesting because we'll use arrays with it. And when we make this game, it is not necessary that you do the same thing of spider and butterflies. You know, you can think of your own topic. So I've had kids in the recent time do with flags of different countries, and they have found the Jolly Roger, that is the pirate's flag. I've had Christmas presents, and instead of the spider, I think they opened a broccoli or something once. And of course, we have expensive things and a lump of coal in your stockings or stuff like that, you know. You can do any topic. You can continue with the same topic if you want, or you can create any other topic that you want. All right. So basically, this is just an idea, because by this time you would be very, very confident in a lot of topics. So you can actually start venturing out on your own topics by now. All right. Okay, guys. So this is a brief introduction to what our projects are going to be. Do you have any questions so far? And then we move on to exactly what technologies we are going to learn in this. Okay.
How
Yes.
long do you spend on each project?
Around 20 hours.
Okay.
So the first 2 projects will definitely be 20 hours, and the JavaScript games will be around 15 to 20 hours. I think on an average, if you stick to 20 hours, it's easier, because we can spend more time learning programming. So by the time we finish this, we would have learned a lot of programming concepts. Now, the thing about programming is, the best part about programming is that the programming concepts are common in all programming languages. Only the syntax or the way you write the command changes. The basic concept is always the same. So we will be covering a lot of programming concepts also by the time we reach the 4th project. All right. Now, also, when we are learning all the topics, we will be working on a lot of assignments besides actually creating this project also. So we'll have assignments in every project. Okay. Now, so let's come back to any other questions. Anybody? All right. So the technologies that we are going to work with are these. We are going to work with HTML. All right. That is hypertext markup language. Okay. Then we are going to work with CSS, which is cascading style sheets, and JavaScript, which is the full form. So there is no full form for that. All right. Now, so what is HTML and CSS and JavaScript? Let's discuss that. All right. HTML is the language that we use when we want to create a website. Okay. Now, you all must have heard of programming languages like C, C++, Java, Python. Have you all heard about these terms, guys?
I've heard of JavaScript.
Okay, you've heard of JavaScript. All right. All right. But JavaScript is a scripting language. I'm talking about the mainstream programming, where you create applications and where you create softwares. Now, if I want to write a program, so for example, if I have a school administration program that I want to write, okay, which takes in all the information about the students of the school. I can actually use C, C++, Java, Python, and a host of other languages. I can use any one to create that system. Okay, but to create a website, there is only one language, and that is HTML. All right. Now tell me one thing. What do I mean by a website? Can somebody tell me that? Okay. When I'm surfing on the net, anything that I see on my internet is my website, right, guys? Yes, everybody. Google is a website. Google search is a website. When you go to your school websites, right, or any institution, any clubs that you have, when you're trying to learn something, right, you go to these tutorial websites, correct? So they are all websites, all right? Now, where do we actually see our website? Who can tell me? In our browser, do you know that? We would see our website in a browser, right?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Can you give me an example of a browser? Ishwani, can you start with me? Ishanvi, sorry, I think I'm been pronouncing the name wrong. My apologies.
That's okay. Well, it could be that Zoom tab that you have open.
Yeah, so this is actually Chrome. I'm working on Chrome over here, Google Chrome, right? Anybody else, can you give me another name for a browser?
Microsoft Edge.
Perfect, Microsoft Edge, very good. Any other names that you can think of?
Firefox.
Firefox, perfect, very good. Shreya, can you think of a name? All right, don't worry, Safari, okay? Because for those who are using Mac, Safari is of course your default browser. So these are all different kind of browsers on which, so these browsers are softwares basically on which we can actually go and surf on the net, see our websites, all right? For any of the browsers, the only language that my browser understands is HTML. My browser understands no other language but HTML. Okay, so if we come to any course, any file over here, let's come to this My Marble Superhero, right? If I right click and view page source, you will see this is my HTML command. All right. Although this looks quite complicated right now, guys, but believe me, HTML is the easiest thing to learn. It is really easy. It is really, really fun. All right. So don't let it intimidate you. Within 15 minutes of starting the HTML course, you will understand what all of this means. Okay. So don't worry. Don't let it intimidate you. All right, guys. So for working on a website, to create a website, knowledge of HTML is a must. There are things like Wix or WordPress where you can create a website without knowing any kind of coding. You know, you can just go click, 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 and you can create a website. But ultimately, those softwares will also create an HTML code in the back, because without that, my browser will understand nothing. Okay. Every CSS command that we write, every JavaScript command that we write is written within the HTML command. It is a part of the HTML. Okay. Without HTML, my browser will understand nothing. Do you follow that, guys? Yes. Okay. So I have been creating websites since 1996, I think, right? That's like a long, long time ago. Okay. So when I started working on websites, we didn't have this concept of CSS. I mean, it was there, but it was something very advanced that we had to like, learn sometime in future. It was not very, very common to use CSS in India. Okay. And we did everything through HTML. So we created the website, we gave it colors, we gave it positions, everything happened through HTML, right? Now let's first understand what is CSS. So CSS basically gives us colors, styles, the look and the feel, okay? In HTML, I just write the text, I include the images, I give the basic layout, right? Whatever data I want is added through HTML. But to make my website beautiful, I have to use CSS. That is what gives it the entire look, okay? And JavaScript is for interactivity. That means when I perform an event on my screen, something happens. Say, for example, in this My Marvel Superhero, when I take my cursor over here, the background color is changing. It's reacting to something I, as a user, have done. Okay, here, when I open the page, the image starts changing. Okay, so that is also happening through JavaScript, right? When I click here, when I take my cursor over, the image changes. When I take my cursor out, the image changes. So basically, these are events that we can capture, okay, or we can tell the computer that if the user does so and so, you need to change this thing in my file. All right. So that is through JavaScript. All right. Right now, we are going to discuss HTML and CSS. Like I told you, HTML is used to display all the text. CSS is used to make it beautiful. Okay. We have seen this website. Let me just close this window. We've seen this page, right? Let me put this to 100% because, okay. Now see when you're going to create the website, how it's going to look. When we start, we first start only with HTML. Okay, this is the same page, guys, with only HTML, no CSS. All right, here we are only adding the data and the images, the links, basically the basic structure of the page. Okay, then once we add CSS to it, this is how my page is going to look. Can you see how it has completely changed the look of my page? Right, it's made it much, much, much beautiful, right? And of course, when we add JavaScript, we have already seen this changes over here, right? So why the difference? Why do we have the HTML separately to only for the data, and why do we have the CSS separately to give it the look and the feel? Okay, so let me ask you a question. And believe me, for every batch, every student has a different answer for this. All right. So because I can see Divya as the first student on my screen, I'm going to ask her, Divya, can you tell me, according to you, what is more important in a website, the look or the data?
You know, that's an interesting question. I'd go for simplicity as an answer. Maybe not either. I think the look
Right.
completely or the data, but I think if I had to
Combination of both.
combination of the two, yeah.
Yes, yes, perfect, perfect. Ishwani, can you tell me? Ishanvi, oh my God, why am I pronouncing you wrong? So sorry. Ishanvi, can you tell me?
Well, I think it's mainly the looks, because when a new person just opens a website, it has to be
Yes.
like presentable. It can't just be pictures all over the place, or not even pictures, but words all over the place. They have to be aligned in order.
Right, that's a very, very good question. Very good. Shreya, what about you?
Looks.
Looks, all right. Shishir, you can
I think both looks and data are important.
in data, right? You're right. Actually, tell me, guys, is it really, really possible to figure out what is more important? See, I'll be frank with you, okay? Except for maybe if it's a school website or some place where you have to go, you don't have an option, okay? If you're going for any other website, there are lots of options available online for every topic, correct? If my website doesn't look pretty, you don't feel like going back over there to see, right? If it doesn't work properly, if my links don't work, or even if the colors are a little dull and muted, you really don't like to go to that website again. But if your website is very pretty, but you don't have adequate data, why will you go to that website again, right, guys? So it's actually very difficult to figure out what is more important, looks or data. They are both equally important in a website. Do you all agree? Yes, guys, do you all agree?
Yes.
Yeah, all right, thank you. So the thing is, when I started creating websites, you know, this 3-page website. So if I was working as a freelancer, and if I would get a project of 4 or 5 pages, our discussion would be, oh my God, that is such a big project that you have got. You have to create 5 pages. So that is all we had to do, right? And so doing everything through HTML was actually fairly easy. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that in a minute, right? So actually, first, let's see that, and then I'll give you this example. So if you see this page, and let me get this back to the original size. Okay, if you see this page, can you see any difference between the 2 hellos over here?
No.
No, right? They're looking almost the same, correct? This first hello I have written through only HTML commands. All the formatting is done only through HTML commands, okay? This one is through CSS commands, all right? Now let me show you the importance of differentiating between HTML and CSS, or dividing a file into 2. So this is my actual file behind that, all right? This is the first command over here, in which I'm printing hello over here, okay? Everything that is between the angle brackets, or you know, the wrapping UO brackets, these angle brackets over here are my HTML commands, all right? So you will see my text is so much, and all of this is my command. Can you see that, guys? That means my data is getting hidden within all my commands over here. And this is one word. Imagine if I have a website that looks like this. All right. Right now, you can see everything in a different color. When we started working, we didn't have all this. It was this. We had Notepad. Okay. And my command would look like this. Now, can you figure out where my command is and where my text is? Do you think this would be easy to work with?
No.
No, right? Because again, I'm going to repeat, this is just one word. Imagine creating an entire website that looked like this, correct? Now, versus now, when I, okay, don't save, versus now, when I divide my formatting and my text. My text is in HTML, which is here. And my formatting is done here using CSS. All right. Of course, we will learn how to do all of this. Today, we are just understanding the difference between the two. Okay. So see, in this, what am I doing? I'm making my text bold. I'm making it italic, giving it an underline, changing the font size, the type of the font, and the color of the font. Okay. I'm doing the same thing here. And this is a header command. Okay. So in this header command, what I have done is all of these styles I have written in one common place on top of it. Okay, so I have made my text bold, italic, underline, change the font size, change the type of the font and the color of the font. I have given this set of styles a name, and I'm just calling that name over here. That is it. What have I done? I have separated my HTML and my CSS. I know now, as a developer, if I want to make any changes to the text, I can come back and do it over here. If I want to make a change to the style, I can go back and I can do it over here. Right? See, guys, like I was telling you, when we were working only with HTML, a big project would be 5 or 6 pages website, right? Today, as we have seen, a 4-page website is our first project for training. Right? Any website is going to be like 15, 20, 30 pages very, very easily, correct? So what we can do actually is we can actually write these styles in a common place, in a separate file, and then just link that file to all my HTML pages. Because whenever we create a website, even if we see the My Marvel Superhero, we have a common background color. We have this red color, you know, this banner on top over here, the header. We have, when I click on any of the pages, we have this common look for the back button, right? So what we can do is we can write all of this in a common file. Okay, we can link it to all the files. So we write the style once. And when we write the style once, it is then linked to everywhere. If I want to make a change, I just need to go to that one place and make a change. It is reflected everywhere, right? Versus imagine a scenario in which you do something like this. Okay, that is, I mean, that is what we used to do initially, correct? And you have 5 pages in your website. And in those 5 pages, you have 5 headers, and every header has some 2-3 subheaders, correct? So on an average, you have some, say, 15-20 subheaders per page. And you go to the client, and the client says, oh, I like it, but you know what? The blue of the subheader is a little light. Can you make it darker? So imagine coming back and changing in how many places? 20 into 5. Do you follow what I'm saying? Yes, guys. So basically, I need to come to 20 into 5 places, 100 places, and change this color. Do you really think that is a optimal way of working? No, right? Isn't just easier to have everything in one place and you just come and you change it here and it is reflected everywhere, correct? So as in when our websites became more advanced, all right, and we had more features, and now we have animations, and we have wonderful things that we can work with CSS. In fact, CSS is very powerful. It is very vast. So is JavaScript. Through JavaScript, I can actually, once I open my file, I can actually change the entire look of my page. Okay, I can change all the CSS styles. I can add or remove HTML commands from my screen. Excuse me. So sorry, excuse me. And I can work on a bunch of things using JavaScript. All right. So have you understood the difference between CSS and HTML, guys? Yes. And any questions about whatever we've discussed so far? Okay. So let's start with a very simple example. I think we should just write a very basic HTML page. Okay. I use Sublime Text for that. It is a free text editor, a free software that you can download very easily. And the reason why I like to use Sublime Text is because it makes working on HTML very easy. It gives a lot of help. Okay. So today I'll just show you something, just a few commands. I'll open a new file. I save this file, okay, on the desktop. Let's just call it demo. And we need to save the file as a .html file so that my browser can understand that. Okay, and this is what I mean by the help. So this is my basic structure of HTML. See, these are HTML commands, all right? Every HTML command must be written within the angle brackets. The greater than and the less than and the greater than sign. It should come over here. All right. Most HTML commands. Now see, my term is HTML, hypertext markup language. Okay. This is the main word to understand in HTML, the markup word. All right. Now, all of you must have worked on PowerPoint, right? Everybody, you all have worked on PowerPoint before?
Yeah.
If you want to make any text bold in PowerPoint, how do you do that? Who can tell me?
You highlight it and then
Perfect.
you could say Control B, or you could click the bold
Delete
button,
button.
the button.
Perfect. Perfect. So basically, what are you doing? You're marking the area or the text which you want to make bold, right? And then you give the bold tag. That is the exact same thing you need to do in HTML. In HTML, you type the commands. That's the only difference. But you mark the area to which you want to give a command. It's as easy as that. So there is a starting point and there is an ending point. All right. In HTML, how do you decide that? With the /. So let's see this command, body tag. We'll understand what the body tag is when we start our course. But this is my opening tag and this is my closing tag. The closing tag has a / just before it. So this, when I click over here, can you see it has this dotted line kind of a thing? This tells me that this is a set. This is the opening tag and the closing tag. Everything in between belongs to the body tag. The tag, an HTML command is known as a tag. It's the same thing. Okay. So let's create a very simple file. All right. Here I'm just going to write hypertext markup language. Okay. I'm going to save this file and I'm just going to open this in the browser. And that's it. We have created our first web page. It is as easy as this. Tell me, was this difficult, guys? No, right? Okay. Now let's add some HTML commands to it. Okay. Let's come to the word markup. I want to make this word bold. Okay. The command to make anything bold in HTML is B. It's the B tag. How do I give a tag? I give the less than and the greater than sign or the angle brackets, and I give my command in between. Okay. So don't use the help right now. So this is my opening tag. Then I want to make this word bold, correct? So I need to mark this area. So I need to give the closing tag over here, right? Now, how does HTML come to know which is the opening command, which is the closing command? So in the closing command, we give a / in the beginning. Now, can you see the minute I give the /, I got this dotted line in between? Yes. So this tells me this is a set, and it tells me that whatever is there between the B tags must become bold. Okay, I save this and I refresh. Can you see this has become bold? Markup. Yes, guys. All right. Are you finding any of this difficult? Nothing? No response? You're not enjoying? Okay. Let's continue.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Shreya's mom, can I ask a quick question?
Yes, please. Go ahead.
You showed the Right Now Superheroes website, right?
Right.
So each student, will they get a chance to pick their topic that they like and make the website as a part of this project? Or are they all going to work
So
on
we will first see during class, we will create the My Marvel Superhero website. I will send the images and the text to all the students. Okay. So we will learn how to create the exact same website during class. But besides our class, on your own, all students have to create one more website. So by the end of the 20 hours, every student will have two websites. One that we do in class while learning and one that they create on their own. So the website that they create on their own, they decide the topics, the images, the text, everything. And during our 20 hours, we will always keep time aside to discuss whatever difficulties they're having in their projects. They will constantly be showing me their projects. I will tell them how to improve it, what kind of colors, fonts they can use, how they can change the layout. So we will always be working on their websites also simultaneously.
Okay.
So by the end of it, there will be one website that we do in class. That is the My Marvel Superhero, and one that they have created on their own, using all the commands that we learned for that particular project.
Okay, got it. And will you be telling like
I'm sorry.
20 hours that you mentioned, how is that going to get distributed and time and everything? Will you be talking about like the 20 hours that you mentioned, how is it going to get distributed, and also like time and day of the week, all those details?
Yeah, all those things I think Satish will help us out with, because we'll have a fixed schedule. And we'll meet how many ever days a week you all want, 2 days, 3 days, whatever you all decide as a group, right? And we'll have a fixed date and time, and it will be like regular classes. So in those 20 hours, yes, Satish.
Hey Preeti, yeah. So what we can do is after the demonstration, I'll reach out to everyone and I'll try to take their available timings based on their flexibility, and accordingly we'll finalize the schedule. And hopefully, as you mentioned, we'll have a weekly 3 classes or maybe 2 classes based on students' availability. But we'll send out an email with all the schedule after the class. Maybe tomorrow or day after, we'll finalize the schedule.
All right. Any other questions that I can help you with? All right. I'm very quickly going to show you an example of how to add CSS to my file. Okay, so to this very same command, we just add a color. So there are different ways of giving CSS. This is one of them. I just add color, and say if I give red, so it will change the color of my text to red. All right. And to add JavaScript, oh, did I type my spelling wrong? Sorry. And we'll just add, say, a very simple JavaScript command. Okay. And this will give us an alert button in the beginning, just like a hello button. All right. So this will give me a pop-up window. This is JavaScript. So when I open my files, this gives me a pop-up window, hello. As you can see, everything, my CSS or my JavaScript, everything must be written in my HTML file. All right. I think this is a basic introduction to everything we'll be doing. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
What app are you using?
We are using a text editor called Sublime Text 3. I will send you the link for this, and you just need to download it. It's a free text editor. You can. It's a very, very easy software to install. If you have any difficulty installing, I will definitely help you in the class.
Okay.
You don't need to install any softwares for any of these three. They are all a part of your browser only, because your browser needs to understand this. You just need to install Sublime Text to type the commands. That's it. Satish, shall we wind up?
Excuse me, I have a question.
Yes, please go ahead.
So will we be able to use Sublime Text to do some independent practice on the commands that you teach us?
Of course, of course. This is a text editor. It is like Notepad or Word. You can open as many files as you want. If I close this file also, nothing happens. My file is still here. See, it is still there on my desktop over here. I can just right click and open with Sublime Text. That's it. It's like a normal software, and you can create as many files as you want.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Satish, are you there?
Yes, Preeti. I think yeah, we can end the class for today. I'll reach out to everyone with the schedule. So thank you everyone for joining today, and thanks for your demo, Preeti.
Thank you everybody. It was a pleasure meeting all of you. Hopefully we'll meet soon. All right, bye-bye everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks
Bye.
everyone. Good night.
Yep,
Good night,
night.
everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.